Alright guys, good evening. Sorry it's taken me a minute to get this video sent out. My name is Logan Staten. I am your tournament director for the 2023 Matt Keatts Memorial at Forest Hills, sponsored by Beer Study and presented by Basket Bashers. A couple things I want to go over real quick. I just want to say thank you to each and every person who has signed up for this event. This event is going to a different cause this year, a new cause, the JDRF Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Um, they are just an excellent company, and I'll go more in detail into that here in a minute. But I wanted to say thank you to everybody who has signed up. I think we've raised over $1,200 easily at this point um, to donate to them. So that's awesome. That's what this event's about. It's a fundraiser for them, so we couldn't do it without all 115 of you signing up. So thank you very much. Thank you to Bull City, the Bull City Disc Club. We are using their tent baskets, and they have ran this event in years past and turned it over to me this year for me to run it for the first time. So thank you to them for everything they've done and continue to do for disc golf in Durham, in the Great Bull City. And there's $4 from every entry going to the club to help with renovations to local courses and whatever the club sees fit. So thank you to them. For those who don't know, the Matt Keatts Memorial is a really important tournament to my family and to me. It's one of the first tournaments I ever played in as a disc golfer, being from Durham. Um, Matt died 8 years ago, no, 7 years ago now, of lung cancer. And initially, the tournament then was Forest Hills Open. Then it became the Matt Keatts Memorial. Matt helped design this layout that we're playing, so it's important to me to keep those holes that Matt helped design, and kind of keep his legacy and memory going in that way. For the past several years, the fundage for this tournament, not fundage, but the earnings of this tournament, so to speak, the extra money from this tournament went to Matt's daughter, Madeline, who is now obviously my stepdaughter, and her college education fund, which is why we've never been a part of this tournament in any official capacity as basket bashers, because we didn't want any type of blurred lines or anything with the finances. But this year, we wanted to take it to a different direction. So in December of last year, that sounded weird. Madeline was diagnosed with juvenile type 1 diabetes. For those who don't know what that is, essentially her pancreas stopped making insulin that her body needs to regulate her blood sugar. And so that's not like a eating disorder or a health issue. It's just an unfortunate autoimmune disease, and unfortunately, she came down with it, and obviously, it's a huge part of our lives now. And so, when this first happened, we had no idea what type 1, type 2 diabetes were, the difference in them, what makes it juvenile and not, things like that. And the JDRF Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation uh, was a huge part in helping us learn and helping us grow as parents, and helping Madeline grow into this new venture of life that will be her life, And so we wanted to do something important for them, and that's what this tournament's about this year. So we've raised over $1,200 for the foundation already. It's been phenomenal, and all of that is because of you guys. So thank you. If anybody would like to make any more donations on a private basis, please see me or Stacy at Tournament Central this weekend, and we'll be happy to discuss the best way to do it. Big thank you to those who have already contributed. You know who you are. A couple people who won't see this video because they're not playing but have contributed is Lynn Gerber and Roger Shaw. So thank you to both of them as well. All right, let's get into the meat of this video. First off, I'm going to say this just to get it out of the way. Road and Beyond is OB on every hole of this course. Okay? Um, I am fairly certain I have put it in all 18 holes of the live scoring. But if it's not in there, Road and Beyond is OB. Okay, let's just clarify that. All the OB that is not Road and Beyond is marked by orange spray paint. Okay, along with that, there are orange flags. The flags are a visual cue for you as the player to know where the OB line is. The flags themselves are not OB. They just show you where the line is from a distance. Okay. So if one flag gets moved and it's not on the line, or it's, you don't know if your disc is in or out because of the flag, the line itself is the OB. Okay, not the flag. Disregard the flag in that aspect. The flags are just there so you can see where the OB line is from a distance. Okay, like I just said, the OB line is OB. So you have to be over the OB line, touching the grass inbounds in order to be inbounds. Okay. Just making sure we are clear on that. There is OB on every hole on this course. Okay, there is painted OB on 16 of 18 of the holes on this. No, 15 of the 18 holes on this course. All right, so please keep that in mind. All of this is in the live scoring and in the live notes. It's pretty simple to follow. You can always come see me after if you have questions, but just keep that in the forefront of your mind there. There are several Mandos on the course. There are drop zones for all the Mandos, so keep that in mind as well. If you miss a Mando, you have to go to the drop zone. That's a PDGA rule. Okay. I'm gonna run through hole by hole real quick for those who wanted to hear it. If not, sorry, this will just take a second. Hole 1, there is OB that is orange spray paint. Hole 2, the OB is Road and Beyond. Hole 3, it is a double Mando. There's OB on the left. Hole 4, there's a Mando. It keeps you from throwing down the road. Again, there's painted OB on the left. Same thing with hole 5. There's a Mando, so you cannot throw down the road. There's orange spray paint left and beyond the basket. It wraps back around the basket. Okay. Beyond all that is OB, obviously. Hole 6 is OB on the right side that is painted. Road and Beyond on the left. Hole 7, I know this is where all the questions are going to come in. I'm going to come back to this at the end. Okay. Hole 8, spray paint on the left. Road and Beyond the basket and to the right of the basket. Hole 9 is just Road and Beyond. There's no painted OB on hole 9. Okay. Hole 10, painted OB on the right side. Road and Beyond straight and left. Hole 11, there's painted OB on the left side and beyond the basket. Road and Beyond on the right. Same thing for hole 12, painted OB on the left. Road and Beyond on the right. Hole 13, same thing. Spray paint on the left. Road and Beyond the basket and on the right side of the basket. Hole 14 is a natural area. You throw over a bridge. Okay. The way the OB is shaped is kind of like an hourglass because of how the bridge is. There's a creek that runs through. So the OB, see if I can get on camera, kind of comes in like this and then comes, it kind of makes like this motion. Okay. It's kind of pinched in. If you're not understanding what I'm saying, you'll see it when you get there. But essentially, if you throw in the creek, your OB, or in the natural area, okay, you'll see it when you get there. There is a drop zone for that hole short of the bridge. You can go to the drop zone or take it last place in bounds or re-tee. Road and Beyond is OB on that hole as well. Hole 15 is one of the signature holes on this course. Basket sits on a big manhole cover. It's a 751-foot hole, par 4 for the MPO, MA1, and MP40s, par 5 for everybody else. Okay. There is a Mando. You must throw to the left of it. Keeps you from throwing down the road and hitting the car. There's OB on the left. The OB is very tight to the basket. I want to say it's like 12 feet from the basket. Okay. It is very, very tight. Please keep that in mind. Okay. But OB along the left side and obviously Road and Beyond, once you get past the Mando, is out of bounds. Hole 16 is just the Road and Beyond. Hole 17 is a island green. Okay. What this means is that you have to land on the island or cross in bounds in order to take your lie from the island. If you never cross in bounds, you go to the drop zone and play it from the drop zone. You have the option to re-tee. Nobody's going to want to do that. It's a 260-foot hole. Drop zone's 80 foot. Either way, you're throwing for 3, right? So that is the island green. Keep that in mind. Again, you don't have to land on it in order to take it from inbounds. You can just cross in, okay? 18's a double mando. I put this in the OB notes. Please listen carefully to this because this question happens every year. When you're facing the double mandos, okay, there's a tree here and a tree here. The tree on the left side comes up and it splits. So you have your main tree and 2 branches. Okay, the mando is pointing this way. This main trunk is the vertical plane. It's the mando line. Okay, so if you do it like this, if you hyzer or you come in over this branch on the correct side of the mando, you are still in bounds. Okay, if you go to the left of that center trunk, then you have missed the mando. And I'll go over all of this in person with you tomorrow. But that's just, I had a couple questions about that, so that's how we're going to clarify that. All right, hole 7. Hole 7 is very easy to understand when I explain it to you. Okay, you are throwing from inbounds. About 125 to 130 foot in front of where you're throwing is a line of flags. Okay, that is the edge of OB. So you can lay up to 150 foot or whatever it is. Okay, past that, it is a island green. Okay, the hole itself is 415 foot. It's about 370 to get to the island. Okay. So the play for a lot of people is going to be to lay up and then to throw over the OB to the island green. Okay? However, that's fine. You can totally do that. If you throw your first shot out of bounds, you take it from last place inbounds. Okay? There is a drop zone on this hole. Okay? It is a second shot drop zone. What that means is, for those of you who don't have the distance to carry it over the OB, there's a drop zone on the left side that you'll throw your first shot, you go to throw your second shot, you don't make it over, you can then proceed to the drop zone. Okay, I will have a spotter on this hole tomorrow, and I'm trying to find one for Sunday so that you know for a fact if you crossed over the island somewhere or not. Okay, your bigger arms, MPOs, MP40s, MA1s, you can try and go for the island off the tee. I highly recommend it. I would love to do it myself. If you cross inbounds at any point, you take it from last place inbounds, which can be on the island if you cross inbounds on the island. If not, you go to last place inbounds, which again is in that layup area. After your second shot, you can then go to the drop zone. I hope that makes sense to everybody. I tried to word it very specifically in the OB notes so that it makes sense. But if not, I'm sorry. I'm sure I'll have some questions on it. I will go over it again with everybody tomorrow morning or whenever you're teeing off. Lastly, there is orange construction fencing sporadically throughout the course. It's been there for years. It denotes like big holes in the ground. If at any point you are in that with your disc or close enough to that you may hit it or it interferes with your throw, you may take casual relief off of that. Okay? You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. All right? Huge shout out and thank you to Beer Study. They are doing $1 from every beer sold that is hold tight. They're donating $1 per Hardywood Richmond Lager to the JDRF Foundation all weekend as the tournament signature beer. Okay, so huge shout out to Beer Study. Please go get some food and some beer from there. Go get you a lager. Let's continue to raise some money for this awesome foundation. Again, thank you guys so much for playing. We will see you all tomorrow. The access code for the event is Forest, Forest. There's not 2 R's in it. We're not talking about Forrest Gump. All right, that question happens a lot, just for the record. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the course. Peace.